to the Vitacast, episode 49. I'm your host, Tyler Oltoff, and with me, as usual, is Kyle Wakeling.
Hey, ladies.
and probably some guys.
Nah, just ladies. I'm only talking to you right now, Tyler.
Oh, burn. All right, starting early. I see how it is. We'll just be prepared. Okay?
I'm prepared.
Later on, you're just going to get hit, and you don't even know.
You're going to hit me? With what?
Some words, and they're going to hurt.
Oh. Sticks and stones, my friend. Sticks and stones.
Anyways, trying to throw me off. I see how it is. Yeah. This was the weekend. Now we're not in the weekend. I'm working, and it sucks. How are you, Kyle? You had your birthday weekend, right?
Yes, I did.
How was that?
Pretty good. It was good. I got good food, some good stuff, some money, so.
You bought something pretty expensive, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I bought a PlayStation TV and Freedom Wars, which was, well, just before last week's podcast, but still. And it was before my birthday, but still. And I'm actually going to pick up a 64 gigabyte memory card, finally. So, yeah, that's my birthday present stuff.
It's about time.
Yes, it is. And then my 16 gig can go to my PlayStation TV, and I can just have all the games, Tyler, all the games.
There you go. You're set up.
Yes, sir.
Alright, well, let's go to what we've been playing, and it's going to be a really short list for me because I've only been playing one game, and it's because I'm getting ready for the review, and that is Freedom Wars. Been playing the crap out of that game. Like I said, it's the only game I've been playing, so anytime my Vita is on, that's what's on. So, yeah, I think I'm code 6. Yeah, code 6, so I got 7 and 8, I think is the last two. But I'm working on it. Loving the game still, and I'm just waiting to see the next thing in the story and all that fun stuff. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so much, Kyle. So much. Anyways, yeah, that's it. That's all I've been playing. What about you, Kyle?
All right. Well, I've been playing a little Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus. My review went up for that this week, so I'll talk about that a little more in a minute. Anyway, also I've been playing Sword Art Online. I really have to finish that, and I just so many games just keep coming out, and I'm like, oh well, it's so long. I'll just do this game quickly and get back to it. And yeah, it's not working out so well. So I need to finish that up, and I've been just plowing through boss levels. I think I'm up to floor 90 now. So
nice.
Yeah, not long. I'm thinking probably this week I'm gonna bash it out because I grinded till I was pretty much OP, and now I can just stomp everything. So yeah, that, and I just got Tales of Hearts R, which Tyler hates me for, and I'm not very far into it. I'm only about 15, maybe 20 minutes into it, something like that. And
still further.
Yeah, I can't really talk too much about it, but you'll hear about it next week at the very least.
Oh yeah, that. I've got that one pre-ordered. I'm ready for it. So ready for it.
Better hurry up and finish Freedom Wars then, Tyler.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. I'm hoping if everything goes good and I can rescue my accessory that just got abducted right before we start recording, then maybe this weekend I'll start getting it written out, and maybe actually I'll start writing out before I'm done, just getting something going. But I definitely want to finish the game before I complete the whole review, get the whole taste of the game. So yeah, and is that all you've been playing?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I mean, that's the core of everything I need to be playing right now. So I'm trying to get through some stuff so, I can get back on track here and get some of these reviews done. I know we had a little bit of a busy period here coming up still.
Yeah.
And a lot of games even releasing just today and yesterday, depending on where you are in the region area. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to get everything done, and I'm trying to focus right now on all these review games.
Yeah, you're busy.
I am.
All right, well, speaking of reviews that we need to get done, there's a few reviews that we have already done. Would you like to talk about those, Kyle?
All right. Well, as I mentioned, I reviewed Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus, and I gave it a 4.4 out of 5. So high praise. And here's what I had to say about that. With a great combat system, tons of customization options, some great characters, and a few hundred missions to go through, Shinobi Versus is a must-have for anyone who enjoys great combat, as long as they're not overly sensitive to fan service or sex jokes. Because, yeah, the game is pretty over the top. I mean, it's boob physics game, and pretty much anything you do makes the character's boobs bounce. And pretty much every character except one in the entire game has giant tits, and even the one that doesn't, when they shinobi transform, they do. So, I mean, the game is pretty, I mean, sexualized and all that, and even a lot of the little stories and stuff like that are filled with breast jokes and other things. So, I mean, if you can't take any of that kind of stuff, you might want to stay away from it. But the actual combat and stuff like that is really awesome. And I've sunk like 40-something hours into the game, and I'm still playing it, and I still would love to play a ton of multiplayer, so it's worth it for me. And I even bought most of the DLC. I can't afford all of it yet. I'm waiting on some money, but I have Costume Pack 1, 2, pretty much all the free DLC and everything that was released up till last week, including the 2 characters. So, yeah, it's safe to say I like the game, and you probably will too if you're not sensitive.
Nice.
And the other review that went up this week is Race the Sun, which was reviewed by Colin. He gave it a 2.6 out of 5, which is a good but not great. And he says, a great premise can't disguise its flaws. Race the Sun tries to stand out from the crowd, but struggles to rise above the horizon. So, looks like he thought it was maybe good in some ways, but, you know, not anything that stands out. If that was something that you were kind of interested in or looking forward to, maybe you should go read this whole review, as, you know, not everything's going to be bad and might be something that you might be interested in anyway.
All right.
And that's her.
Awesome. So yeah, let's go on to the big list of games that we're going to be able to get our hands on this week. So we'll throw it to Paul or myself or Kyle or some random person. Who knows? It's always a mystery. So take it away with those new releases.
Hey everyone, it's Tyler. I'm going to be doing the new releases for you. So what can we get our hands on this week? Well, for North America, we've got The Binding of Isaac Rebirth for $14.99. Don't Die, Mr. Robot for $4.99. Home, which is cross-buy, for $2.99. The Hungry Horde, which is $9.99, MotoGP 14, which is $29.99, and The Wolf Among Us, which is $24.99. PlayStation Plus, we've got The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, Escape Plan, The Hungry Horde, Loof Trousers, and SteamWorld Dig. There's a few sales and some price changes involving Escape Plan, DLC, and One Piece Unlimited World Red. There's a bit of DLC also. A lot, so check the post if you want to know more for North America. And for Europeans, you guys can get your hands on The Binding of Isaac Rebirth for €11.99. I'm not going to read all that, but The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, Don't Die, Mr. Robot, Minutes, One Piece Unlimited World Red Prestige Edition, The Hungry Horde, and The Muppets Movie Adventures. For your PlayStation Plus games, those are the exact same as North America, and there's some DLC as well, so go check the site for more on that. And those are your new releases for November 4th, 2014, and I'll throw it back to myself, so take it away, Tyler.
Alright, thank you, random person. Who knows? But yeah, any of those, Kyle, you're going to hit up?
Well, I grabbed one of the Plus titles. I grabbed Escape Plan. And as for what's actually releasing this week, I think The Wolf Among Us is pretty much the only thing that I don't have that I'm looking at. So yeah,
Nice.
I don't know. That's what I'm interested in. What about you, Tyler?
I picked up The Wolf Among Us physically.
You physically picked it up?
Physically. It's in my hand.
With your hand?
Hold on, here, listen. Here. Shh, quiet, Kyle. Kyle, shut up.
I'm listening.
You hear that?
Yeah, I do.
That is my Wolf Among Us game case. There's a wolf on the front.
Smacking it against your head, Tyler?
Hey. Yeah, I picked that one up. I also downloaded the Plus games, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, and there's another one. Don't know. The Hungry Horde. I also got that, but I haven't played them yet. Like I said, I've only been playing Freedom Wars. I'll probably try out these games after the podcast if I'm not dead. From sleep deprivation.
Oh, come on, Tyler. We went 24 hours. I'm sure you can stay up a few more.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I pushed myself to the limit. Now I know what I can really do. Now I'll never sleep.
Join the club, Tyler. Join it.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
More time for games, right?
That's very true. Very true. I'm interested in Home, the unique horror adventure, and it's really cheap. I'm actually really surprised at how cheap it is. It's only $3.
I actually don't know a whole lot about that game. What's up with Home?
It looks kind of like, oh god, what is that game? It's that, remember that 2D horror game that you
Lone
liked?
Survivor?
Yes, it looks.
Oh, I'm down, man.
It looks very similar to that. It looks okay. Hold on, I'll just read the description right here. Okay. Awakened by an oncoming storm, you open your eyes to discover yourself in a strange, dark room, tucked away in a house that's not yours. As you play the game, it changes subtly, almost imperceptibly. To reflect your perspective. It's a horror game unlike any other, and as you'll discover, its truths are entirely subjective. It looks creepy, like you're a pixel dude running through.
So it's even styled like Lone Survivor, kind of.
Yes, and it's like you have like very little. What is it? Oh god, what is it? You can't see really far on the screen. You got like a circle, like a flashlight, and everything else is dark, so you have to kind of walk into the darkness.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
And you said it's only like $3.
Yeah, it's only $3.
Damn.
It's not even like a sale, like Plus. It's literally $3.
For the price of Jacob Jones, you could have a horror game. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. It's really cheap. Why not? So yeah, that is one of those games I want. Alright. Yeah, I was just looking at it again real quick, making sure there's something else I wanted.
Tyler's getting distracted.
Maybe a little. I'm not using my Vita this time to record the podcast, so I can actually look at my Vita and check things while we're recording, which is kind of nice. I'm just hoping that my phone holds out and works, because if it doesn't, then you'll not hear any of this. Alright, let's head on to those news pieces we got. So, first up, while it has been available in North America for quite some time, there is a new glimmer of hope that the game will be heading to Europe in the next few months, maybe even this year. If you're not familiar with 1001 Spikes, it is an extremely unforgiving 2D side-scroller and a huge nod to pulp adventure and classic 8-bit games. Check out the review if you want. When asked in a fan question about whether 1001 Spikes will ever release in Europe, the game's developer, Nikilis, responded saying, quote, yes, following the release of The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, end quote. Binding of Isaac Rebirth will be available today and tomorrow on the store and will be free. So it's likely that 1001 Spikes will be available in Europe by the end of the year. Whatever the outcome, we will be sure to keep you posted, and any specifics on of 1001 Spikes' European release date emerge. Next, did you play Strength of the Sword 3 on the PlayStation 3? PlayStation To Go had a little chat with developers Invent Games on Twitter, and it turns out that a Vita version was going to come, but then didn't. Boo. At Invent Games says, quote, there was going to be a PlayStation Vita version, then there wasn't. IDK, I don't know. The game fits the medium, but it is worth the is it worth the dev cost? End quote. Released on the PlayStation 3 in June last year and currently available for a ridiculous $1. The title is a challenging and challenge-based third-person action beat-em-up set in a fantasy realm where the player will take control of a blade-wielding, magic-powered war machine from the heavens and take on the dark mechanism and his minions. The game got mixed reviews on release, but certainly looks very interesting. It definitely looks like it would suit the Vita, as the developer acknowledged at Invent Games in response to @TonyMHFan. Quote, SOS3 is a good fit for Vita, but as the install base is so little, we gotta ask ourselves if the PC isn't a better destination. End quote. Lame! Next up, it has been confirmed that Rugby 15 will feature the Pro 12 rugby license in addition to the Aviva Premiership rugby license and the exclusivity of the Top 14 and Pro D2 licenses. Players will now be able to enjoy 12 additional European teams with the integration of the Guinness Pro 12, which unites the best teams from Wales, 4 teams, Ireland, 4 teams, Scotland, 2 teams, and Italy, 2 teams in a single league. With the integration of the Guinness Pro 12, Rugby 15 now features 4 leagues from the main European championships to offer gamers and rugby fans all the drama and emotion of Europe's greatest competitions. The good news is all this will be available when the game launches sometime this winter.
Bam. Alright, moving on. The PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4 share a lot of games, and they're about to share one more. Resogun. Yes, the voxel-filled PS4 exclusive is making the jump to the PlayStation Vita. James Hawkins, who is part of Sony's XDev team, revealed on the PlayStation blog that the Vita version is, quote, coming and is looking, sounding, and most importantly, playing great, end quote. Confirmation of the port was also added by a Housemarque representative who noted that Climax Studios were taking care of the dev work on this port. Next up, Let's Manga, the manga creator and editor from Granzella, is headed to Japan next month on time with its Q4 2014 release date as previously promised. If you're not familiar with Let's Manga, or Manga Kakeru, as it's known in Japan, it is a very unique Vita game that gives players the tools to arrange characters, backgrounds, and speech effect bubbles to create their own manga stories. Players will get the option to start from scratch or build upon initial templates for different genres of manga. Future DLC will likely add additional content to use in your creations. It's possible that a Western release is also in the books, since the game is reportedly getting English language options, but in the meantime, Let's Manga will be available sometime in November on the Japanese PlayStation Store for 400 yen or free for PlayStation Plus subscribers. And next up, in an interview with Siliconera, the producer of Sword Art Online Lost Song, Yusuke Futami, made a promising statement regarding the English translation in the Asian release. Quote, alright, the English translations in Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment weren't that good, huh? Actually, there's a reason for that, but it's not something I can talk about. But we're aware of the root of the problem, and what I can say at this time is that this time around with Lost Song, we're doing things differently. Fans can expect much better translations, as the localization process will be handled very differently. Please look forward to it. End quote. A large majority of the players who have played the first game can agree there were certain faults in the English translation, both for the Asian and the Western release, although they vary slightly. Although Futami is unable to reveal any details behind the new localization process, the fact that they're handling it differently sounds very promising. Sword Art Online Lost Song is set to release March 26 in Japan, with the English subtitled Asian version following shortly after. The game currently has no information regarding a Western localization, but we're expecting something anytime.
Aw, yeah.
Aw, yeah, indeed, Tyler. More Sword Art.
I still need to play Hollow Fragment. Oh, God.
I need to play more, yes, too. It's just so long. Like, I mean, you could really, like, you could really ignore quite a few other games and still have trouble getting to the end of it.
Yeah.
Even if you play a crazy amount of Vita games like I do.
I still need to buy Danganronpa 2. Oh,
Tyler.
I know.
Tyler.
I know.
You're gonna have to take like a month off work and just play Vita games.
I might.
Like, I cut my leg off. I have to go home.
There we go. Alright, let's push through this news. There's only a couple stories left.
Yes, we're halfway through.
Yeah. So next up, Nippon Ichi is bringing this adventure game from the personal computer to the other PC, our favorite portable console. I see what you did there. Fog's Furaki 3 has been announced as coming to PlayStation Vita this week's Famitsu reveals, bringing with it the announcement of a February 19th release date and a 5,800 yen price tag. The Nippon Ichi published title is actually a series of romance simulation games that involve touring around Japan's Hokkaido area, an island region to the north of the country. Gameplay in this iteration is split into 3 parts, outlined by Jamatsu below. Touring entails freely traveling around the entire island by motorcycle, which is depicted with photography. At certain points, players can stop on the side of the road to better enjoy the view. Adventure. Portions of the game see over 100 famous tourist spots to visit. It's during each such sections of the games that players encounter the game's heroines and other local people as they gather information and take pictures. Camping. Stretches of the game task players with compiling information about the places they visited and running posts about them online. With the protagonist being an inspiring traveling writer, the ultimate goal is to churn out posts that will be received well in a writing contest in which they're participating. Along with 3 areas, they've also chosen 3 heroines for the story, pictures of which are available on the site. Originally released on the PC in April of 2013 and available on Japanese account using Vitas this February, we'll have more news on Furaki 3 as it releases. I'm probably saying that wrong. Next up, in the latest batch of news regarding Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, we learn about I need water. We learn about Kyoka Karimi, head of the Karimi detective agency that protagonist joins the game's subquests and more. We are told that Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth protagonist does not have a body, but they are part of the real world. Kyoka is a female detective who will help you out and takes you under her wing as an apprentice detective. Under Kyoka's guidance, you will take on various investigations, with the more cases solving earning you a higher promotion and more cases coming into the agency for you to work on. Your character is a data body from the cyber world, and the townspeople that see their hero's suspicious-looking appearance panic. However, a woman driving a sports car appears and invites the protagonist to get inside and drive off towards a new fate. Kyoka is the head of the Karimi Detective Agency, one that has earned the maximum trust of the police and takes care of cyberworld-related incidents. Don't let Kyoka's looks deceive you. She has a boyish, always cool, dry personality for as yet unknown reasons. Kyoka does not have access to cyberspace, but with the mysterious event that happened to the protagonist's body, the duo team up in a give-and-take relationship and to help in detective affairs. Aside from Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth's main quests, there will be a range of sub-quests available. Completing these additional requests will see your reputation as a detective rise. These sub-requests include requests from Digimon who get lost in the real world, investigating mysterious occurrences in the town, and amongst other scenarios. There are times when your client's Digimon will join you to assist in the investigation and aid you in battle. Solving these cases may help you solve the mystery of your new body. We'll have more on Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth as it releases. Next up, the European PlayStation Store has posted a new trailer for upcoming PlayStation Vita title Hotaro no Nakai, The Firefly Diary, which suggests the game is going to be delayed until next year. Originally scheduled to release this fall, the new trailer contains a release date of February 23rd, 2015. Although the date is unlikely, as the 23rd is a Monday, and neither of the Western stores update on this day, a delay is looking likely as we have heard no news on the game's release recently. The frame that displays the new date also has guidelines in place, see above image, to aid the editor. Well, the image will be on the site, so you need to go to the site and check that out. To aid the editor of the video, suggesting that this is not the finished version of the trailer. Check out the trailer on the site if you wish, but as we noted, this one's seeming a bit odd.
Alrighty then. This is the last set of news, so you can clap if you wish. Final Fantasy Agito Plus, a port of the smartphone game Final Fantasy Agito, has been delayed due to Square Enix finding technical issues with the title. The release date has now been set to be announced instead of the previously announced January 15th, 2015, and Square Enix has promised that they will fix the issue and work on improving the overall quality of the game. Although a new release date has not been announced, Square Enix has said that they will do all that they can to bring us new information on the title, so make sure to check back here on the podcast or the Vita Lounge for more in the future. The European and Asian PlayStation stores now sport download listings for the new Network Media Player app, which can be used to stream your video or music servers from your PC to your PlayStation Vita or PlayStation TV via DLNA. Pictures on the site show that the app is very slick, and NeoGAF user Janax notes that you can scroll through the options pretty fast. If you'd rather have your media locally, there's also an option for that, allowing you to copy over items housed on your media server to your PlayStation Vita's memory card. Unfortunately, the Network Media Player app does not work in the background, however, so you'll have to resort to using your Vita's Music app or Sony's Music Unlimited service for those moments when you want to game with your tunes blaring in the background. As Brad noted last month when the application was announced, it's interesting to see that this is nowhere to be found on the North American store, and we're curious about what exactly is holding up the app's appearance in the region. In any case, you can be sure we'll keep you updated. And the last piece of news. Murder mystery audio novel Higurashi When They Cry is coming as a complete edition to PlayStation Vita, courtesy of publisher Kaga Crate. This week's Famitsu has outed the existence of Higurashi When They Cry Sui, an enhanced re-release of the original title, including all expansions and tons of new content. The PlayStation Vita version of the game includes all the scenarios from the previously released home versions, as well as full voiceovers, 3 new songs, a skip function, a game version of the Hajisarashi chapter, and a swimsuit CG for each character. Originally launched on PC in 2002, Higurashi When They Cry Sui is set to launch in Japan on March 12th, with no word on a Western release. And that's the news.
Woo-woo.
Indeed.
Very quick. Just like Kyle's sex life. Oh, and it's back!
Oh, really, Tyler?
Feels good.
So is your girlfriend.
Oh! And he brings it right back. Oh,
You started it, Tyler.
I think you... maybe not. Never mind. Alright.
You brought it back, though.
That's right. Alright. Don't insult each other anymore. Let's head on to those talking points.
Alright, well, as usual, I would like to talk about announced or released games that we're looking forward to from the week. So, what there did we talk about that seems interesting to you, Tyler?
Well, I want to know more about Hotaru no Nakai. That one looks pretty interesting, but it's unfortunate it's probably going to be delayed. But there's so many games that it's kind of alright, for me at least. Of course, you and I are just waiting to hear more about Sword Art Online Lost Song. Yeah, there's not much more we need to say on that. We're excited. We're going to get that. We're going to be talking about that a lot, especially when we start learning more about it. Also, Final Fantasy Agito. I want to know more about that. Don't really know anything about it. So I'll definitely keep an eye out on that. And yeah, that's about it. What about you, Kyle?
Well, I think actually it would be really cool if Let's Manga came over here, so I'm kind of interested in that. Of course, Sword Art Online. I don't even have to mention that, as you've already covered that pretty thoroughly. I'm kind of actually with you. I think you were the one who said this, getting a little bit more interested with every posting of this Digimon crap. Was that you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of getting interested as well. I'm not really a Digimon fan by any means, but it's starting to look pretty good. So I'm kind of getting interested in that. Also, as you said, Hotaru no Nakai, although I'm kind of disappointed that it's probably going to be delayed, although I'm not sure that's going to be the date it's delayed to. So, it's probably a good idea to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
And I hope they actually localize that Higurashi When They Cry suite, because Murder Mystery is pretty cool, and I'd like to play that.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Plenty of games.
All the games, Tyler, all the games.
All of them.
All of them. All of the games.
Batman just arrived.
Batman likes all of the Vita games.
Why didn't you voice Batman in the next movie?
I don't know, man. They didn't call me.
They're making mistakes.
I know. Sony don't call us to run their Vita department. They don't call me to voice Batman. What the hell? Come on.
They're slacking, that's why.
I know. These guys, they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Did you see me tweet that picture of that Freedom Wars advertisement?
Yes.
I laughed when I opened the case. I was like, what? Oh, what is this? Too bad they're not going to post that or put that on like TV and actually make it a difference.
Yeah.
I should just, when I trade in like a game, like a PS4 game or some other game, I should just slip this in it.
Make photocopies and put it in all of the games that you trade in.
Yeah, so anytime someone buys the game, they'll be like, "Freedom, what the heck? This actually kind of looks cool." Boom, Vita sold, me doing my job.
And if you definitely don't want it to like get pulled out by somebody, like, you know how they check the inside of the game, they might be like, "What the hell is this?" and throw it away, like when you trade it in. Slip it in the cover part, like, you know how like the cover with the plastic wrap on the outside?
Yeah.
Slip it inside there, like on the very inside, so that when they actually open the thing, if they're holding it vertical, it just falls out.
Perfect.
Bam.
Alright. Our schemes to help.
I know.
Let's head on to those listener mail. We got a few this week, right?
Yeah. Thank God we have listener mail, because we don't have a lot of talking.
I think they heard. I think they heard you from last week because you were giving them crap.
Thankfully, because those weeks when we have nothing, I'm like, Jesus, you guys, come on, nothing to talk about. There's stuff going on all the time with Vita.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. First up, we have one from Dan in Snohomish, and he says, "Hey, Kyle and Tyler. Recently, I found out that Star Wars Battlefront 2 for PSP was available on the PlayStation Store. When I went to buy it on my Vita, I couldn't find it anywhere. It turns out that it's only available for PSP. I thought that all digital PSP games could be played on Vita, so my questions are: 1. Why aren't all digital PSP games available for Vita? 2. Could licensing have had something to do with Battlefront and all other Star Wars PSP games coming to Vita, i.e. LucasArts didn't allow Sony to put that game on its other platforms? And question number 3 says, will we ever see PS2 classics come to Vita? Holy shit, if we do, that would be crazy. Thanks, and keep up the good show. Take care, Dan from Snohomish."
Full question here, Dan.
Very, very cool.
Alright, so question 1. Why aren't all digital PSP games available for Vita? I think it's to do with licensing, stuff like that. And then there's I think we've answered this before, like, there's some games that could possibly cause a stability problem with, or hackers being able to get through things and just hack the Vita. So I think that's why there's a few of them that probably aren't available. And then, I think there's something else. I can't think of it. What is it, Kyle? You know it.
Alright, so it's licensing. It's either, like you said, the games being exploitable, so hackers could use them to gain access to the Vita, or, you know, something that they're not supposed to be able to access. It could be that the game simply is incompatible with the PSP's emulator as it's being run through Vita, because I know you guys don't necessarily know this, but the Vita actually runs a PSP emulator that runs other stuff to, I don't know, it's kind of like a chain. Even PS1 games are run in the PSP emulator that's running on the Vita. So, like, I mean, it's not the most elegant solution. It's not native, and because of that, there's going to be incompatibilities. So those are the three main reasons, really: licensing, exploitability, and whether or not it's directly compatible or can cause massive errors to your Vita. So any of those could have had something to do with it, and any of those are just as likely to be the reason why said game isn't on the store.
Yes, Kyle always answers it best. And then question 2, I think we just answered that. Could it?
Yeah, it definitely could have had something to do with it, but we don't know unless LucasArts comes out and says, "Hey, we weren't allowing them to do this," or Sony comes out and says, "Hey, it's LucasArts' fault."
Are they still around?
I think they are, but they're a subsidiary of Disney or whatever now, so I don't know.
Interesting. Alright, and then question 3, will we ever see PlayStation Vita Classics? No, I don't think so. If they're going to release a PlayStation 2 game, it's just going to be an HD re-release, like, I think, what is it? I know there's one that's released. Aren't the Sly games, Sly 3, isn't that a PlayStation 3 game, or 2 game?
I have no idea about the Sly games. I know the God of War collection was a PS2 game that was ported to PS3 and then re-released. So, I mean, they do all sorts of crazy things with regards to that.
Yeah, but just a PlayStation 2 classic, like an emulator, no. I don't see that ever happening.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Tyler. Not that it's not possible, because I believe it's certainly possible to emulate a PlayStation 2 with the Vita. I think it's just a matter of Sony would never do that, just because it's too much work for them to be able to get, you know, that little bit of gain. Because, I mean, how many PS2 classics are there out there? And then how many people are going to buy a Vita and buy PS2 classics? Like, I don't know. Yeah. It just seems like the cost to, you know, what you're going to make ratio isn't very good there.
Yeah, Sony needs to focus on advertising the Vita in the first place.
Yes, I agree. Take that development team for the PS2 Classics emulator and just advertise the Vita.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yes, it would. So yeah, whether or not it'll come, I highly doubt it, and so does Tyler. It could, but yeah, it's just probably not feasible from a money standpoint.
Yeah. Yes, thanks for that question. Those questions there, Dan.
Yes, thanks, Dan. And moving on to our next set of questions. This one's from Dolo R. Lance at Dolo R on Twitter, and he asks, with Freedom Wars out now, what kind of Freedom Wars DLC would you want on PSN? And he asks, what did you name your Freedom Wars accessories?
All right,
so I'll let you start.
Question 1. So DLC I'd want costumes, new maps, new weapons, new monsters, or new bosses, I guess. But just expand it. And then question 2, what did I name my Freedom Wars accessory? I was going to name it my girlfriend's name, and then I just didn't. So it still says Tyler's accessory. So I haven't named it yet. So what about you, Kyle?
Alrighty. Well, as for Freedom Wars DLC, I'm going to have to agree with you. Pretty much anything that expands the scope of the game or what you can do in the game, I'm cool with that. So, I mean, I really don't want anything specific. There's not one thing that I can call out and say, hey, we need more of this, but more of everything. I think that's pretty much, you know, we want options, we want more levels, we want, you know, all the extras. We're greedy. That's just the way we are.
Yeah. Also, maybe more missions and stuff like that. Like maybe some unique missions or crossover DLC, like kind of how Soul Sacrifice Delta did some crossover. Maybe add some Soul Sacrifice Delta bosses in the game.
That'd be weird.
But awesome.
Yeah, but awesome. It would be weird, but awesome. I agree. And as for what did I name my Freedom Wars accessory, I haven't got far enough to name my Freedom Wars accessory yet, so it's still Kyle's accessory. Although, if I did name it, it would probably be like stupid robot bitch or something like that, because she likes to boss me around and give me demerits and take away my ears and stuff. So. Yeah, it'd probably be something to the effect of stupid friggin' robot.
What did you name yours, Dala? You always ask
you should have told us.
But you never tell us what you would do. Tisk tisk. Do you even listen to this podcast?
Tisk.
Alright.
He just asks us questions and then never listens to the answers. Oh.
I can see it.
Good times. Alright, moving on to our next question. This one's from Xtema, and that's at XTEMMA on Twitter, and he says, I'd like to know how long by average do you guys enjoy a game you liked before you can move on to other games or its sequel?
I guess it really depends on how much I really like the game. Like, okay, let's go with Freedom Wars. I'm blanking on it right now. Sword Art Online. I like the game, and it's a pretty big game. I would like to personally get to the very end before I played Lost Song. And if Lost Song comes out before I'm done with Hollow Fragment, I will buy it, but I will try my best not to play it. But yeah, with Soul Sacrifice and Soul Sacrifice Delta, I beat Soul Sacrifice, and I kind of didn't really want Delta. I felt like when they announced it, I was like, come on, just make Soul Sacrifice 2. This kind of seems lame. So for a while, I was just very not wanting it. I felt like it was too soon, and it took a sale for me to jump on board. And I'm actually glad I did. But yeah, I guess it really just depends on how much I really enjoyed the game and if I think it deserves a sequel or needs a sequel. I don't know. I can't really put a time on that. What about you, Kyle?
You're welcome, Tyler, for getting Soul Sacrifice Delta.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
If you don't know, I hounded Tyler via Twitter, via this podcast, via pretty much every medium I have to hound Tyler, into getting this game. So that's the reason he has Soul Sacrifice Delta, and that he can even say that. So, meh. And as for my answer to that question, how long do I enjoy a game I liked? Well, for that bit, it depends on the game. I'm outside, focusing just on Vita. Skate 2 has been out for years. I don't even know how many years, but a ridiculous amount of years probably. And I'm still playing it. So it depends on how addictive the game is and how unique it can be upon revisiting whether I'm going to keep playing it or not. And with a game like Skate, you can pretty much skate around all day and just do different stuff, and you're not going to do the same things twice pretty much ever unless you're trying to. So, yeah. With games that I like, it can go on forever depending on how much replay value there is. As for whether how long I'll play a game before I can move on to its sequel, if there's a sequel available or coming out. I like to play the games to completion if I'm going to its sequel, so even if, say Game X came out and then Game X2 came out, I would probably play Game X, buy Game X2 like Tyler would, and then finish the first one before I started the second one, just because I don't like to jump ahead and kind of screw myself up, especially if there's a storyline. Maybe if it was something where there was no story at all, I might dabble a bit, but even then, I'd probably try and finish the first game just so that I didn't end up ignoring it, I guess. So, yeah, there you go.
Also, Skate 2 came out in January 21st, 2009.
Well, there you go. So I've been playing that game for over 5 years.
All right. Well, where did it go? Oh, there we go. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. So thank you for that question there.
Yes, and we move to our last question that I know of anyway, and it's from More to Vita at More to Vita, MORETOVITA on Twitter, and they ask, what games are the VitaCast looking forward to in 2015?
Oh boy, 2015.
Oh, what Tyler says.
Well, it kind of goes along with our talking point earlier, announced games and release games we're looking forward to. Sword Art Online, Last Song, definitely looking forward to that. I mean, we kind of already touched on it, but it's more Sword Art Online, and I love Hollow Fragment, and I'm really excited to be able to play something a little different because they're having that whole flying mechanic, and it just seems like a totally different take on the game. And hopefully they can fix some of the problems, especially like with the translation, like they said they're going to hopefully fix. So let's hope that they actually pull that off, because it kind of takes you out of the experience when you're reading something and you just notice the horrible English and you're like, that was terrible. What else am I excited for? It's pretty much all the games we already talked about in the announced games we're looking forward to. So what about you, Kyle?
Alright, I'm going to be a little more thorough with this. I actually had the list up of 2015 games from the forum, and I'm just going to go through them and list off the ones that I think are awesome and that I want, regardless of region. So if you hear me say, a game that is not coming out in North America, that's why. I'm not going to list region, I'm just going to list games. So, God Eater 2 Rage Burst, super excited.
Yes.
Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, super excited. IAVT Colorful, interested to see what the hell that's going to be like, especially since it's from the Senran Kagura producer. Senran Kagura Estival Versus.
Oh, yes.
Definitely interested. Sword Art Online Lost Song, definitely interested. Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters, interested for sure. Also, we've got Hand of Fate, which Tyler actually got to play, and he didn't even mention.
Well, okay, you cheated and you got this list, and I'm just trying to go off of memory here.
Yeah, well, be prepared.
Yes, Hand of Fate. Oh, yes, go read my impressions on the site. Anyways, go on.
All right. Mangaka Kiru, so that's Let's Manga. That's coming out, I guess, next month. But,
he's in 2015, Kyle.
Meh. My list needs to be updated, it looks like. Anyway, Ollie Ollie 2, welcome to Ollywood.
Agreed.
Agreed indeed. We've also got the Untitled Ease project. We've got Tukiden Kiwami coming to North America.
Just refreshing my memory on all these games.
I know. We've also got Demon Gaze 2 in the works, which could come out in 2015, although it hasn't been dated yet. We've got Hotline Miami 2, which looks like it's slipping into 2015. And we've got... there's another one here that I know. Something. Oh, and, well, we can assume it'll probably be out in 2015, The Walking Dead Season 3, which they've already announced. So, yeah, there we go. That's the big ones that I'm looking forward to from the next year or so, regardless of region, although some of those have been announced for Japan only. There's a high possibility that they're probably going to make it over here just because they're the bigger games that, are kind of obvious that they're going to get localized.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few games to be looking forward to.
Quite a few games indeed, and that's just what we know about, because, look at all these, stealth releases that they come out with, and all the other stuff, and all the other stuff that they haven't announced yet. too. So
Yeah.
I mean, we're in 2015 yet, so you're not going to have everything announced.
No. All right. What about you? What are you excited for? You gotta let us know.
Just wait for your answer and listen. Okay,
Yes.
ready?
And here we go. All right. Thanks for the question.
Yes, thank you.
Let's
All
go
right.
to our next one, and this one's all about you, Kyle. What are we going to check out?
All right, so check this out this week. Is actually going to recommend something that I haven't played. So I know this is kind of off key, especially since I haven't personally played it, but I trust Paul and I trust Tyler, who has also played it. So I will recommend this for you. And the reason I'm recommending it is no, it's not Minecraft. The reason I'm recommending it is because they just dropped the price in North America. At least I'm not sure about Europe yet. So if you haven't got it yet, One Piece Unlimited World Red has just dropped to $29.99 on the North American PlayStation Network store. So that might be something that you might want to look into, because Paul said that even if you don't know anything about One Piece like he did going into the game, he found it quite enjoyable. And it made Tyler even watch the anime. So, I mean, if he liked it enough to, invest his time in something that wasn't even directly related to it, there you go. So, that's what I'm recommending for my check this out this week. Other than, I'm kind of cheating, and I also going to recommend that you buy all the Senran Kagura DLC, because most of it does transfer over to Senran Kagura Bon Appetit, which is out next week.
Oh boy.
Bam.
But yeah, there
I
you go.
dropped that on you.
I definitely need to play more of that One Piece. You remind me of games I need to play more of.
See, if Tyler needs to play more of it, it's definitely good. Because, I mean, the guy's, ridiculous with Freedom Wars.
Yeah. Hey, One Piece is awesome. It has really good combat. It's silly. And it looks really, really good on the Vita. It's really colorful. And, yeah. And they just released a Prestige edition that comes with all the DLC, but it's pretty pricey. It's $49.99. But I mean, that's all the DLC. I don't know how much that you're saving.
You're saving quite a bit, because there's a lot of DLC and it's pretty expensive. So yeah, if you're thinking of getting the DLC, that's probably the way to go.
Yeah. So yeah, great game to check out. Definitely check that out. And I think that's all we've got. So
it is.
Let's get out of here. So yeah, you can find all the stories that we talked about on the VitaLounge.net. We're all on Twitter at the Vita Lounge. I'm at Mr. PSVita Reviews. Kyle is at Teflon Tactics. We're on Facebook. Just search the Vita Lounge. We also have a YouTube channel, the Lounge Play. Not the Lounge Play, just Lounge Play. And we do Lounge Plays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, and 9 p.m. British summertime. Go check the forum. Just sign up, introduce yourself. It's VitaLounge.net/forum. Join the conversation. Lots going on there. We're also on iTunes, so go ahead and subscribe to us. Let us know how we're doing. And that is it for this week. We will see you on a possibly interesting 50th episode. We might be doing something special, so be prepared. Baha, teasers. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
The Vita Car.